All right, let's dive right into this explainer. Look, if you're running a small to medium business today, you already know your time is literally your most valuable asset. Wasting hours on manual data entry or wrestling with clunky, outdated software isn't just frustrating, it actively pulls you away from actually growing your business. Financial management software is the invisible engine of your company, and choosing the right one is absolutely one of the most consequential decisions you can make.
Which brings us to the big question for today's explainer. Can a trusted software name from way back in the 1980s actually keep up with today's tech? We're talking about MYOB. In a market totally flooded with shiny new startups and disruptive tech constantly fighting for your attention, it's incredibly valid to pause and ask, can a legacy system still hold its own? Is it actually a forward-thinking option or just a relic of the past?
To figure that out, we've got a quick roadmap for this explainer. We'll look at what exactly MYOB is, dive into its core features and benefits, map out the competitive landscape, and wrap up with the challenges and our final verdict.
So, starting with Section 1, what exactly is MYOB? Let's get a brief overview. If you're completely new to it, MYOB provides a whole suite of business management tools made specifically for small to medium businesses down in Australia and New Zealand. Fun fact, the name actually stands for Mind Your Own Business, and honestly, that's a pretty brilliant mission statement. Their entire goal is to handle all that complicated back-end stuff so you can get back to doing exactly that, minding and growing your own business. It is heavily calibrated for the specific nuances of that region, which, as we'll see, is a huge part of their strategy.
Now, what's really wild is that this company was founded way back in the late 1980s. I mean, we're talking an era of giant shoulder pads and basically zero internet. For a software company to survive the dot-com bubble, the smartphone revolution, and the whole shift to cloud computing, that takes serious resilience. And because they've been doing this for decades, they build up this massive vault of historical data on what business owners actually need day to day.
But here's the thing, they definitely haven't stayed stuck in the past. MYOB completely evolved from those old legacy desktop roots into modern, fully cloud-based solutions. So yeah, you can access your data from anywhere with an internet connection, coffee shop, job site, your couch, you name it. They didn't just rest on their laurels. They successfully bridged that crucial gap between old-school reliability and modern-day work-from-anywhere flexibility.
All right, moving right along to Section 2, Core Features and Benefits. Why actually choose MYOB?
Well, it really comes down to how their features, things like accounting, payroll, invoicing, and expense tracking, how they all work together as one single ecosystem. It saves so much time. No more duct taping together a random payroll app, a separate invoicing tool, and some chaotic spreadsheet for your expenses. MYOB brings the whole shebang under one roof. You generate an invoice and boom, it automatically hits your ledger, tracks the expenses, and feeds right into your detailed reporting. It completely cuts out duplicate data entry and those really costly human errors.
Plus, and this is absolutely crucial, you do not need to be a CPA to use it. It's designed with a really intuitive interface. Let's be real. You probably started your business because you love your product or service, not because you're super passionate about double-entry bookkeeping, right? MYOB gets that, keeping the design clean and straightforward so everyday users can take control of their finances without totally drowning in accounting jargon.
On top of that, it seamlessly hooks into the tools you probably already use, like your CRM or your e-commerce platform. That means a customer makes a purchase and that sales data flows automatically straight into your tax reporting. It's totally scalable too. Starting out solo? Just stick to the basic tier. Hiring your first 5 employees and need payroll? You just scale it right up. You only pay for exactly what you need as you grow.
Which brings us to Section 3, the competitive landscape. Let's see how MYOB stacks up against the heavy hitters.
You've probably heard of Xero and QuickBooks. They're global giants, famous for these massive cloud integration ecosystems. But MYOB has a very distinct, very sharp competitive edge. Its ironclad focus on local tax compliance in Australia and New Zealand. It's the classic global versus local trade-off. While the other guys go super wide, MYOB goes incredibly deep on its home turf, meaning the software is essentially hardwired into the highly localized tax rules of the region.
And backing that up is a dedicated local customer support team. Because they are so hyper-focused locally, they regularly update the software to catch any changing local tax laws. You know as well as I do, tax codes change all the time, and falling out of compliance can hit you with severe financial penalties. Having a software partner that monitors those specific regional shifts and pushes updates straight to your dashboard, that is massive peace of mind. Combine that with a support team in your own time zone, and it's a huge win.
Now let's wrap things up with Section 4, challenges and our final verdict.
Let's be totally transparent here. Transitioning software is never perfectly smooth. If you have years of financial data sitting somewhere else, moving it all over, setting it up, and getting your team trained, yeah, it's going to take some deliberate effort and time. Muscle memory is a very real thing, and it definitely takes time for your team to adjust their daily workflow to a brand new interface. You absolutely have to factor that transitional downtime into your implementation strategy.
But zooming back out to our original question, is MYOB still relevant today? The evidence firmly points to yes. It absolutely remains a valuable, reliable choice. They didn't just miraculously survive since the 80s. They actively and thoughtfully adapted. By merging decades of historical business knowledge with slick modern cloud capabilities and a relentless focus on local compliance, they provide a rock-solid foundation for streamlining your operations.
So I'll leave you with this one thought to chew on. Take a hard look at your specific growth stage right now. Ask yourself, does the global reach of a competitor make more sense for you? Or do MYOB's specialized local compliance and scalable plans align exactly with what you need? Software is never one size fits all. So is this trusted legacy tool the right partner for your unique financial journey? Thanks for exploring this with me today.